All right, good morning or good afternoon, depending upon where you're joining us from today. I'm Deja Shands, an intern here with SASH, and I'll be interviewing with Dr. Jeff Logue. Hi, Dr. Logue, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
We're doing awesome. Thank you so much for participating with us. Dr. Logue will be presenting the effects of online infidelity on heterosexual marriages on October 17th between 10 a.m. and 11:30. So we are excited to hear about your presentation, Dr. Logue. I think this is a topic that many of us can be interested in hearing, probably have had to experience, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But what can you tell us more about your presentation?
Well, whenever I present, I'm going to be looking at, like you said, the effects of online infidelity on heterosexual marriages. And what I'll be discussing is what online infidelity is, the many forms that it takes, the use of technology, as well as the impact of physical and emotional affairs on people. I'll also be exploring the demographics of infidelity, kind of who's cheating on who and why. I'll also dive into the differences in gender perceptions of infidelity. I'll look at the role of jealousy. And here I look at not only heterosexual, but also homosexual relationships just briefly. Um, the presentation is going to end with a discussion on how online affairs affect heterosexual marriages, sexual satisfaction within marriage. And I want us to kind of consider the role of, what's it like when the husband is using porn? And also, what is it like if the wife is using porn? And then finally, we'll look at some of the treatment options for some of these hurting couples.
I think when I first saw, excuse me, what your presentation was going to be about, how did you consider, I guess, condensing it, or is social media also a part of one of the aspects that you'll be exploring when talking about infidelity in these relationships? Because I feel like just that alone is the devil's playground, if you will,
Right.
for any and all opportunity for this to occur in a marriage or
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah, I agree. In fact, we'll be looking specifically at social media and the role that it plays in kind of opening up the door to online infidelity. It's not just going to porn sites. There's a lot of
Right.
different venues that are supplied by social media, and we'll look at those in the presentation.
Awesome. Well, we definitely look forward to delving more into that. I know that for sure. I think quarantine has presented people with a lot of different aspects of character that they may not have seen previously in relationships, be it friendships, marriages, the whole
Yeah,
nine yards.
yeah, it's interesting that that you bring up the quarantine, because I think that's one of the reasons why this topic is so important right now. Since COVID-19 hit, porn use is up conservatively 22%. Researchers have already predicted a spike in divorces by next January. That's January of 2021.
Wow.
Um, January is historically known as the divorce month. Domestic
It's
violence.
strange.
Yeah. Domestic violence has increased dramatically
Yeah.
since the COVID
Yes.
lockdowns. And there's a lot of data and research out there that ties increased violence against women with the
Mhm.
use of pornography. So if pornography is spiking during COVID, we also can draw the conclusion that domestic violence and violence against women in general is spiking as well.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I think that's an accurate assessment of what's going on behind closed doors right now, and it's very unfortunate. But we're grateful to have professionals like such as yourself and other members of SASH and around that are able to bring these conversations to the forefront and have them heard. So we definitely look forward to that. Will this be your first time presenting with us, or are you a returning presenter?
No, this is the first time that I've presented.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, well, welcome. We definitely look forward to opening the folds of our arms for you to come and present with us more than just after this year. With that being said, have there been any other upcoming presentations or any aspects of your presentation that you're particularly excited about since this is the first time?
Well, I was looking at the breadth and depth of speakers that we've got
Right.
at this conference, and I'm excited about hearing all the diversity of thought. I mean, there's so many experts that are going to be at this conference in the field of sexuality, and I'm looking
Mhm.
forward to learning from their research, from their clinical experience. That's a great opportunity to network and to learn who's out there and what they're doing, what they're researching, what they're involved in clinically. And I'm excited to learn from some very, very interesting people.
Same, me as well. I think that's one of the things, like my schedule has gotten so hectic, even though I've like just started doing like the bare minimum of intern work. But from what I've seen that SASH has been capable of showing, like it's all of the factors regarding sexual awareness, advocacy, education, and it goes so much further than the surface level that we're used to hearing. And I'm particularly excited about a couple of presentations. This one specifically because I have a few friends I think will benefit from listening to your presentation. So we'll definitely be tuning in on the 17th. Um, so as we mentioned before, definitely COVID-19 has impacted our day-to-day lives far greater than I think we really anticipated realistically. It's almost
Yeah.
as if we're starting to live in the world of the Jetsons, like there's the talk of flying cars and hoverboards. So with that, and having to move to telehealth, have there been any pros and cons as far as how you interact with your clients professionally and any expectations, pros and cons you have about being telehealth for this conference and it being your first time?
Yeah. Well, when you talk about the lockdown in COVID-19, um, as as an introvert, I've kind of enjoyed the sabbatical, honestly. Uh,
Yeah.
it's really enabled me to reflect a lot on my own personal priorities, which I think is something that clinicians need to do from time to time.
Yeah.
It's enabled me to focus on my own marriage. I've been able to spend more time with my teenage daughters and kind of listen to their concerns and their perspectives as they're living through this unprecedented time. My wife and I have grown closer to each other, and that's been a very powerful weapon against kind of this global anxiety that
Yeah.
everybody's facing today.
Mhm.
And it's kind of crazy because ironically, COVID sort of pulled me out of my comfort zone and pushed me into online therapy platforms. I used to almost teach against online platforms. I used to, no, our field is always going to be face to face. And I really
Yeah.
minimized the technology. And really, I am amazed at how many more people I can reach via teletherapy. My practice has doubled. I'm reaching people across the state of Texas that I would not otherwise be able to serve, and they would not otherwise be able to access services. It's an amazing gift, really.
Yeah, I think that's been the kind of the divide that I feel like in a way is like I'm so grateful to not have to like physically interact with anyone right now. Like unless like upon my choice. But the other side of that is in a way it has brought us closer together. It's forced us to be mindful of, okay, if I have this amount of screen time today, I need to dedicate the same amount of time to getting up and getting some fresh air and just enjoying the company of those within my immediate vicinity, and immediate support group. And I think that again, these conversations and presentations that we're having are going to help a lot of people find that and come into realizing that it's a slight change, but for the most part, I think we're going to be okay.
Yeah, yeah, I do too.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Logue, for joining us this morning. And again, we look forward to hearing your presentation on October 17th. am I squinting again? 10 a.m. to 11:30 on the effects of infidelity, of online infidelity within heterosexual marriages. So thank you again for your participation, and we look forward to hearing you.
Oh, thanks for the opportunity. It was great talking with you.
Our pleasure.